Welcome to the Battle of Naissos. So after taking the wall settlement in Trace, after a couple of turns of recovery, I attacked again. It's a big risk for me, because if I lose this battle, this Thracian tribe will counterattack and take the city back. I have 40 units, the enemy has 60, but I attacked a field army that was fortified outside the city. Another field army and a garrison will reinforce it, but he can't control what he gets. So as long as I maintain focus on destroying his key units, he will get worse units in first. So that's the plan, and I got an editor now, so I can actually edit out things when not much things are happening. So let's just hit play and see. He's coming up with a light cavalry over here. To scare off archers, I have to move up. I should have moved up my pikemen up to here, just outside range. Then I can just go with an archer, flame. Because you know it's not raining, so now it will make much easier to negate these towers. And I do have my ballista, so I can knock out a javelin unit that I can see. I can't see anything else, but he has some levy spears over here, hoping I will just shoot at them. These Thracian spearmen are actually quite good for the price. They only cost 420 for me. So that's what is happening. And other than that, I'm moving up Pike Center, of course. They're gonna be their main role throughout the campaign. Be a wall that he can cross. Some archers behind protecting my ballista. And then some swords and javelin men and light infantry on the flanks. Obviously, I would prefer to have something else than the Greek infantry, but until I get my reforms, they will have to do. I don't have much choice in the matter, at least when it comes to at least they're cheap. So he has a lot of cavalry over here, but so if I wanted to, I could rush up this hill and we could have a battle over here. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to be just gotta keep a close eye on them. I have slingers over here as well, so I'm gonna go for a mutual arms approach here, because he does outnumber me in terms of cavalry, and I'm not going to lose. If I lose my cavalry, so many of my troops are light troops, and since Ancient Warriors is also watching this now, I have to be extra careful what I say. No. But yeah, he has some Celtic townfolks in these woods. They might seem useless, but they do have a spear and a bonus versus cavalry. And they have 4 speed, so they're like faster to get to the battlefield to help the cavalry than normal spearmen that has 3 speed. Now I'm gonna slowly move up, and I'm targeting his Agrianians. They have javelins, and javelins can hit any armor if done well enough. Killed 10 men. And I'm happy about this, because it's weakens up his firepower. So he has some levy spears over here, a javelin corps, and then heavy swordsmen and javelins on the flanks. He's trying to harass my pikemen, I think. But I got archers here, a javelin cap of my own, and slingers further back. So this unit is gonna suffer a lot of casualties. Maybe he wanted to waste ammunition on me, but or waste my ammunition so I don't hit his other troops. But his javelin unit was a poor choice for that, because it would be very useful in a cav fight. Or later on, you know, that unit could help support his cavalry when much is tied up. Right now, when everything is free, it won't be as good. So he lost a lot of horsemen there, but I haven't lost anything yet. And I keep shooting at his Agrianians, so they're steady. And when javelin near dies, it also takes away the ammunition that went with him. So the other survivors won't be able to use that javelin, so they'll save me a little damage. And yeah, I'm just setting up spears to protect my phalanx and this gap over here with cavalry, by shock cavalry first and then my javelin cavalry. This shock cavalry is so wide in formation that like if he has his line straight and I have my line straight, I can match his line with these two bodyguards alone. And since these Prodomoroi are quite capable in a melee as well, even and they have javelins as well, so they're multi-purpose. That makes it so that they can later charge in if his cavalry is all tied up. So I could have attacked here, but if he would have a downhill charge at my men, and why should I risk my cavalry when I can just get an advantage infantry-wise? I just need to keep his cavalry at check. So I'm trying to burn this tower down, but that's what I mean. I should have moved up my pikemen up to here, because right now he's attacking. He's going to try to take out this archer, of course, and he holds javelins here. It's bad for me that I lose a little bit of my firepower, but again, it's third class population, and I rather lose third class than a pikeman or an elite population. Because you have to keep that in mind when you're playing a head-to-head, that what type of population does that unit use? And what am I willing to lose? Because otherwise you can win the battle but lose the war because lack of replenishment. So I'm attacking this and I'm catching up to it.
As you command.
And I'm shooting a little with my archers, maybe I shouldn't have. He tried to bait me inside these towers to get some extra damage in. So this unit routes, losing 40 horsemen. I lost 1 horseman. Right now it's gonna keep retreat his cavalry, but I retreated too far back because this is routing. This unit will come back, so I should have just kept it over here. Moved up the pikemen up to here, I think. Would have been a good line. Some archers, slingers ready, and that would be set. But my slingers are pointing this way in case he would be doing the mistake of attacking me. I would be very happy if he did that, because then I could have used my infantry to support my cavalry, whilst he has none. I'm just damaging some of his spears because I was hoping that they would bounce and hit these javelineers that are here further back, so I can make a double. You see, he has some javelins here. I should have targeted these Thracians, not this lighter version, but now he's attacking again. I got my tower that now it's burning. I moved up my pikemen a little, but I was afraid that he would be able to get them before they lowered their pikes. So I keep back and I'm trying to move up my javelin cavalry, but he managed to catch my archer, killing many of them. Now he tries to retreat it, but it's wavering. And it's shattered. So now he won't be able to get this unit back, but he will get another replacement unit. His swordsmen are better than mine. At least well, Celtic warriors are probably a bit better than the Greek infantry, but are outclassed by the Agrianians and the Folksmen that I have. I don't have many Agrianians, I only got 2 units. And then I have 4 Folksmen. The Folksmen are local troops, the Agrianians are mercenaries, so I can't really control how many I get. It's random, I think, or it takes a while to replenish them. However, the Agrianians are very good troops, but the Folksmen are also, so like the Folksmen are a bit more offensive. They're way back. I don't know if I forgot about them. I did forget about these archers. So yeah, I'll have to reorganize my archers, move them up, and the Folksmen closer to the flanks. But right now, I'm just trying to get my pikemen over here, and then the battle for the flanks will start. That is what's going to happen. So I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm trying to harass his cavalry because my cavalry is a bit faster. I got one volley over here. He didn't kill anyone, but I could have moved over here. Try to bait them in the range of my slingers. They could also do some damage. Why this not going to work? So you can just what am I shooting at now? Yeah, I did get a couple of Thracians there. That's what's going to happen. So yes, I will just wait until something else happens. Now he's moving up his some javelineers and some swordsmen, probably to try to protect these towers. So because if they can survive, they will get infinitive ammunition, and therefore will do that damage to my men. I have this spear unit in front to both screen, but also to burn down these palisades, so my pikemen doesn't have to go out of formation to do it. At first I was thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to attack these peltas units, but then it was, okay, these Celtic warriors have ammunition. And even though technically I can afford to lose it and it's still barbarian population, I do send up a spearman instead, because I do want the spearmen to take the javelins first of all, so that my Greek infantry and everything else can... I'm just keeping focus on trying to destroy his javelins first. But he should have had some spears over here as well, because I only need to fear him as he has javelins.
For the gods of Olympus! Macedonians ready!
So I'm wanting the spear unit to take the damage, and it works. But now he's retreating. He did kill a couple of units there, but nothing substantial. He has 3 peltas over here. Now he's moving up with some more swordsmen. I can't enter the fort from here, but he's just guarding it, so I don't get a flanking attack on it. So whilst I'm fighting over here, he will have to turn his back to me. Then I could shoot him down from there. I'm slowly moving up again, but I'm worried about his peltas. But he could have made a sally out, like one spearman there to hold me. Then moved up some javelins or his precursors to do some damage to me. I do see an opportunity to get a flank shot on these Celtic warriors. But over here I'm wasting a little bit of my ammunition since I had my archers at fire at will. So that was a bit of a waste for me. I'm just trying to do some damage, but these Celtic warriors are rather sturdy. Now it looks like he wants a separate catfight over on this side as well, because here I got my slingers. So he is not going to go near my slingers. He wants to have his cavalry not worried about missile fire. So what else is gonna happen here? Well, I'm going to take this cavalry engagement if he wants it. At the same time, I'm going to burn down these palisades with the spear unit and see how he reacts. I want to make room for my pikemen, but also make less obstacles for my cavalry if he should be over here, so I can get better charges in. I only need to eliminate his spearmen, really, and then my cavalry would have free reign. Moving my cavalry over here to get at these lighter cavalry, so I can break them more quickly. Even though it means my medium cavalry, or light missile cavalry, I should say, they would have to fight these melee cavalry, or medium shock cavalry. And but I have javelins and I'm faster, so I could just move up here, hurl javelins and retreat, whilst my cavalry is charging in, and I have a spear support unit as well. So I'm not taking any chances here. I don't want to lose a general.
Understood. Double time.
Just moving up a spearman here. And my men are firing. They shouldn't do that, but they are doing it anyway.
Fire at anyone.
He's starting to set up with some more. He's moved these Scudisi early heavy swordsmen up front, and these Celtic warriors are behind. But since these Celtic warriors are probably from the garrison, he should actually have them in front, and some these town folks at the very least, or something else to take the initial volleys and take the casualties first. Since he can't, as long as he wins, I can't threaten his town anyway, so they can replenish. That's what's happening. I'm trying to harass his cavalry, but he just retreats. Then I move backwards so I don't get caught out. If I get caught out, then it will be very, very bad for me. Every time I move forwards, he moves backwards. And this repeats several times, but I think he's trying to get me to... so I would just look over here. And then he actually charges in, whilst I'm not prepared. I think that was his plan, or to bait me over here. These guys, maybe he thought these were hidden. But I do see them. So maybe that was his plan, to get me in a place where his infantry could support, and then slaughter them, and then he can have a just rain in my rear, and I won't be able to do anything about it. Just retreat from the battle, really. Shameful display. Other than that, I have burned down some palisades. I'm gonna burn down these, and the palisades did crush a couple of his men, so that's less men for me to fight, and I didn't have to waste ammunition on them. Just save a couple of soldiers really for me, because they will be able to, some of them will be able to get through these pike lines. The bronze shields are, they're more defensive, but very good against hoplites and shield walls. But other than that, they're not really. They're just supposed to hold the line, and then you win on the flanks. Now I'm burning down another tower. So that's 3 towers gone of 4, and now it's not really worth for him to hold it back, because the main advantage of having a fort is these towers, and the fact that you have a flank that can't be touched, at least not by melee troops. So yeah, he needs some more spearmen here on the flanks to both protect themselves against cavalry charges, should his cavalry lose. And then but he also needs to either attack with some expendable troops. For example, he could attack these spearmen with one of his spearmen to cause some casualties, as he does outnumber me by about 3,000 men, I think, in total. And losing a spear unit is not a big loss for him, because he will get several more from the garrison. But he's moving up. I think he's hoping to distract me with all his cavalry over here, and then he will have this general sneaking when I'm not prepared and attacking these lighter troops. I think that's what I was hoping to do, or because at least I can flank him from this side, But I do have a good counter in my slingers and my general that is coming over here. It does weaken this side though, so I have to have my cavalry much closer to my infantry to ward them off. I'm trying to get some slingers up here to actually hurt his general, but he does see it in time, unfortunately. And the ballista is out of ammo with 168 kills. Almost out of trying to get in range. But he just retreats because he knows what I'm doing. But both of us are, like, since this battle was over an hour long, both of us are probably losing a bit of patience. He was like, come on bro, come on. But I have suffered a lot in Trace. Many casualties, many men has been lost. And I have to be careful because that's how the successor kingdoms play. They are a bit careful and calculating about, okay, if I do this, then are my flanks secure? But now he's just testing how can he play this one. But I have spears and I have archers ready and my own cavalry. So I'm like, okay, you want to? No, nope. He's not. He's going to retreat his cavalry. But soon, like, I only need to move up to these rocks, and then I have a frontal protection. However, he's moving on the flanks, and that can harass my pikemen from the sides, and if he manages to cause casualties to these might break, and then he can roll up. I'm shooting down his... I'm targeting his station health dusts. Here I'm moving up my javelin cavalry to hurt his swordsmen a little, because they are actually superior to my own swordsmen. I see this unit is shooting my pikemen. And since it's on my unshielded side, I actually have to, you know, target this unit first. Now he's trying to flank attack me, so I'm turning inwards. He was probably planning to pin this unit in place in frontally and then moving from the flanks. So I managed to break this unit. It's coming back. All my precursors are firing whilst the spearmen are holding the enemy up. That is how the spearmen are supposed to use for me. You see, they're holding down this swords unit, and then I'm shooting all my precursors and the javelin men against them. The Agranians are like a match for the swordsmen, so they won't do as much progress. And I don't mind really losing some spear warriors in order to accomplish what I want. But he comes here with 2 of his Celtic warriors. I don't know if he doesn't see that I have some Agranians, and my Folksmen are moving up here on the sides now because he has used his ammunition. He's hurting my pikemen on the sides though, so I'm trying to commit, like driving his Thracians back with the Greek infantry and shooting at them. Now he comes with a flank, but this unit broke, so I'm getting a flank on him as well. Then I'm sending in another Folksmen unit against this unit. Now he's hurling javelins at these Greek infantry. And yes, it does a lot of damage, but the Greek infantry are not my infantry killers. They're just there to fill up plug gaps. So, like killers in the army are the Agrianians and the Folksmen. Those are the guys he should be focusing down with javelins.
Prepare to engage.
The Folksmen are doing very well, and I do get some sniping shots at this general. They're starting to take damage, and it's on their unshielded side. So that's very good for me. Here, my infantry are breaking, but his infantry is breaking.
Hades, take our enemies. Engage.
I was sort of expecting it. Yeah, your general has fallen. Because the generals in head-to-heads, they do drop like flies. Like you can't really, you won't be able to hold on for a general too long. But if your general manage to survive, that can turn the tide of the war. Because if your general is better than him, you have the right traits on him, then your troops will get a boost, and that might help you win the battle. I managed to trap this general, and this general counts as the general for all armies. So if this general dies, all of his troops will be demoralized. Now it's trying to attack me. Am I prepared? No, I'm looking over here. But I, just in time, I do see it. But not properly on all units, just a couple. And now my general is gonna fight 3 units potentially. And I was like, yeah, I have the better cavalry perhaps, but it's still gonna be 3 to 1. Well, it's almost 2 to 1 because my general is 200 men. But that's no advantage. Now he could chase down these Greek infantry if he really wanted to. He's getting a flank attack or rear attack on my general. However, I sent in one of my cavalry units to try to help it. And his troops are wavering. Managed to break these light cavalry units. And this unit is heavily demoralized. He managed to break one of mine. So I need more men over here. Slingers are like having an attack order on some peltasts, so they have to move back all the way now. But this general is very sturdy.
For Zeus! Attack, brave sons of Macedon!
Well, this unit has suffered a lot. Look at all the poor men on the sides. And here.
Hack them down! Charge! 2 for 1! Engage!
Yeah, now I'm starting to break his cavalry. That will give me missile superiority, and I'm attacking these peltas that are unshielded. Managed to scatter them. That's a big portion of his killing infantry. He has a couple more swordsmen, but my majority is now spears. And spears are more holders. They're not supposed to kill a lot. At least not these Thracian spearmen. Moving through the gap here. He can easily flank them and demoralize my men over here. That's a very good move. And I did just pick one unit, attack unit there. I'm trying to send up more cavalry, but it will take time. Just trying to chase down these units. Well, I'm winning rather handily, but my melee infantry is quite depleted in this fight. Then he gets more. Here he seems to be winning. So I'm moving to my pikemen over here. Just try to help, and I'm moving away my Greek infantry. And my cavalry is coming also, since they won this flank. Now I'm trying to block him off in such a way that he can't flank my pikemen still, even if my pikemen are over here. But it does give him access to damage me with one of his powers. But I am just hoping I can outdamage him right now. Attacking. My pikemen are not down. Managed to break a Foxman. So the battle for the flanks are quite brutal. But I'm getting in cavalry charges now on the sides, and that will help to turn the tide. These tribesmen are losing badly, and another cavalry unit is swinging in behind and attacking these Agrianians. The Agrianians are, of course, killing a lot and only lost 8 men. But even though my cavalry will get a couple charges in, it will take time for them to do damage against them. Out of now, I'm just like... It's very hard to see the unit cards when it's 40 units. Like this unit is almost 200 men. And I have not lost a single man yet. I need to have these guys up. But I managed to shatter. Now it's just a matter of shattering as many units as possible. But he's moving in with some more... well, tribesmen and... yeah, mostly tribesmen, a couple of bowmen now coming in. A much better charge, and these Agranians are wavering now. Yeah, we managed to shatter it. And I'm burning this tower as well, so soon he won't get free damage on me. So I'm breaking his swords, and he still has a couple of,
Orders understood. At the
yeah, a couple peltas, but mostly spears.
Give them fire! At the double! Pursues!
And he's getting a couple of volleys here on the pikemen. This was on in my back as well.
As you command!
Now he's hurling at my cavalry. That's very good for him. He has more bowmen coming in as well, as his units are routing. So he gets replacements.
Loose! Quickly now!
I'm shooting down his matey.
Double time! For engage! Hack them down! Eight advance!
He's trying to damage my second class population. He's doing quite a good job of that.
To serve the people! Riders, advance! In service of the people!
The service of the people.
Quickly now! Riders, at the double! Cut them down!
So this is good for him.
Cut them down!
But he has archers and lots of spears here, so I can't really flank him, and I'm running out of ammunition.
Fire! For the gods of Olympus! Attack, you sons! Charge! Charge! Great engage!
Managed to attack this Thracian mercenary cavalry.
Yes, Commander! Hack them down! As you
I'm trying to get this javelin unit, but a spear unit comes instead. So I just follow through with the charge. And I did kill a couple of them, and then I'm immediately retreating the cavalry. But I'm starting to lose patience with the length of the battle whilst I'm playing. I'm still shooting at these Medi Peltas, but he has bowmen now coming in. And that's a big scary. Now I'm trying to break these spearmen and this swordsman at the same time. If I can just because now it's chaos for me. It's rather hard to keep track of everything, and as soon as a unit has an archer is out of ammunition, they're just charging with knives. Then you have to retreat them all the time, and I was it's quite difficult to be fully concentrated at all times whilst you're playing. So that can lead to rather big mistakes. Look at here, like my archers are walking because they have a target further back. But that means that this spear unit is getting committed against those guys, and they are gonna take a lot of damage.
Riders at the double! Double time!
Now, yeah, he's gonna move up here with his archers and trying to make a small circle. And my cavalry is much lighter with 18 armor, so. But he's going to harass my cavalry. My bodyguards are actually quite reduced. 131 men in this unit, and 165 in the other. So they're taking some damage.
At the double! Amisos! Advance at speed! Cut them down! Nay! Quick march!
Trying to avoid these arrows.
Break off! Take him! Pull
My
back!
Thracians were good, but it's going to shoot them once they're retreating in the rear. That will do a lot of damage to them.
Follow me!
The Foxmen are exhausted.
Engage! At the double! For the gods of Olympus! To arms!
So it's quite tricky for me to use my cavalry now when he has spears all around. Do have a lot of... I don't have much infantry left. They're very depleted, those I have, and it's quite difficult to muster everything and sending them in to the fray. But one thing is clear from this battle: the Greek infantry is too light. I can't rely on them. My armies are too light overall. See, I'm just feeling pretty good about having these pikemen over here. Now he's moving up with spears over here, and there's not proper flank protection. I'm trying to protect myself, but not by moving this pikeman over here. He can actually flank me faster than if I just kept it in place and then moved some other troops over here. But it's done, it's done. Again, I don't care about Greek infant. I don't care about the third class population being killed. At least they're more expendable, and I don't really care about the barbarian class, but I do care about the pikemen and the cavalry. And I don't, as long as the units don't get wiped, that is. Agrarians are very good, but I can't get them as many as I want. I could get local variants, but they're not as good as a mercenary variant. From here I'm moving up my pikemen a little, just to get a better protection against the flank. I'm trying to move into these flanks, and he managed to shatter this spear unit. You see my infantry here are routing, the Thracian is routing, the Volksmen are wavering. He managed to rout them. My other Volksman is wavering. He's shooting this, or was shooting this pikeman in the flanks, and they took damage before I was actually in a melee. I'm just sending these guys in here. These guys could be easily flanked if you just moved in from the sideways. Just using the last of my ammunition. Trying to get a gap here. I can potentially see a gap over here that's being opened. And getting into our phalanx like that would help when he's hitting me from the flank. And these are against his same local Volksmen that can be recruited by me. I'm just sending in some lights here, hoping to hold them down, even a cavalry unit. But that was bad timing by me, because my general could be killed over here. I'm trying to get this shield wall in the flank, but then he moves with another unit over here. There's a small gap over here now. I'm just sending in. I don't really care anymore. I just want this battle to finish. So yeah, he's moving in. He's trying to form a circle. My cavalry is still very good. It's just like I don't want to lose anything.
Understood.
Just managing to scatter some townfolks and these swordsman routes. That's very good. And now these units are wavering. My cavalry managed to get into these bowmen. That's excellent. That's precisely what I need. Scatter, wavering, and these are just townfolks. So my pikemen are winning rather handily here, even when they're not in formation. Now he only has some tribesmen to send in. Over here is a rather brutal fight, but I managed to shatter this unit. some Greek infantry is attacking over here, and my cavalry is going to go around. But again, like this Greek infantry is not very reliable. They are wavering. They have suffered a lot of losses. They managed to get this unit to waver.
Understood. On my order, withdraw.
And now he managed to rout that unit, but it will come back. Like, it's not completely destroyed. Or is it? I will lose a couple cavalry units here, but nothing. And his shield wall is just killing off these Greek infantry and the lighter peltas that are and slingers that I'm sending in. Because slingers are not really supposed to be, you know, in an actual melee. I'm trying to get some routes going on the tribesmen and therefore cause army losses, so that he won't be able to recover, and then I can just run them down without having to fight them.
Pike phalanx. Withdraw. Forward.
What's happening over here? Yeah, one of my archer units broke. I'm placing myself in a phalanx, but that made me vulnerable to this flank with this unit. This unit's been doing rather okay-ish, but still, these tribesmen have done, and light spearmen have doing quite a lot. Routing one cavalry unit. Yes.
As you command.
I'm attacking this unit in the rear now. So this is enveloped. So this unit is gonna break.
By your command.
If his shield wall breaks, that would be very good for me. Maybe I can end this war today.
To arm. Advance.
Many men have died here on both sides.
Attack. Engage. For Zeus. To arms.
Yes, I managed to break it. Attacking this, I'm trying to rout this javelin unit. Now they're all having a very bad morale. I'm attacking outside of pike wall to get into this spear unit faster.
Attack, you sons of Ares. Advance.
Trying to hunt down some routing units so we don't have to fight a battle again. And that would be, the more missile troops I can break from him, the less damage I will take outside of melee.
Yes, Commander. Engage.
And now his units are wavering due to the losses,
Charge.
and I get a win here.
Engage.
A rather bloody victory, but my pikemen survived for the most part. And I will just show you the result screen. And this is the result screen. As you can see, most of my pikemen survived. Some took a little damage, but that's acceptable. I lost 1, 2 horsemen. Then the barbarians, they can replenish, but they did rather well. The Agrianians and the archers doing really well. You can see that his swordsmen and spears did quite well, and his the javelin men, as they were focused down, these two did not really do anything. But the Mede Peltas did do a number on me, and as well as the Thracian. His cavalry were a bit outclassed by mine, but he had the numbers, so if he had spread out the cavalry on maybe both flanks, I would not be able to properly cover my flanks. I would have to be very defensive, and that could have played to his advantage. And yeah, it would be rather tricky when you can't. For him, he could not control what units he got and when. But it was a very good battle overall. Long, but good. And after this battle, I took their town, but the armies survived. So they were going to do was to plunder the region of supplies. So I took the town, but I was out of supplies, so I took attrition. And then the RDI, a military ally of Rome, they decided to, hey, why don't we just attack the Macedonians now? So I had finally gotten peace, but the RDI wanted war. And that causes a dilemma. Like, I can destroy their armies, but I want to, if I actually want to knock them out, then Rome might react. We wanted our clash to happen, but when will it happen and in what circumstances? Rome is aligning itself with Scudisi, the RDI, Pergamon. So he asked me on like all sides pretty much after but I only got, in terms of regions, I do have the Pulpudeva, the Naissos, Pella, of course, and Thessalonica, and that's what I have. He has Italy, a town in Sicily. He has Cisalpine Gaul region combined. So he's much richer than me and well, more powerful overall in terms of allies because he can just use his allies as meat shields and then move up with his real armies for himself and just take over everything. So that's how the situation is now. But it will take a couple of turns for me to. I was thinking, yeah, well, I have to reform my armies. They are too light. I need something heavier. And we will see in the next battle the reformed Macedonian army. Thank you for watching.